which raises the question, you see as much success as you're seeing, can you advance or speed up your plans for future electric vehicles, given the demand that's clearly out there for an electric sports performance coupe?
The CEO of Porsche has shocked all auto manufacturers. The internal combustion engine wasn't destroyed thanks to them. Porsche wants to preserve ICE engines while the rest of the world is placing significant bets on electrification. Their trump card, an original engine that will obliterate the EV market. This may literally spell the death of electric vehicles. Their beast trounced 4.4-liter V8s powered by gasoline, while emitting pollutants that are almost at ambient levels. Porsche does not intend to follow the regulations, and they do not intend to allow ICE engines to fail. They are investing in their own unique fuel to go along with this technology, because they are so confident in it. What do you ask?
We are going for combustion engines, emotive hybrid engines, and full electric engines. And so we have a very clear plan for the future.
145 million gallons sound about right. Porsche's CEO, Olive Bloom, said that although moving toward an electric future may be advantageous, we do not want to abandon our present clientele. Porsche has also created a solution that will allow us to continue using our old ICE vehicles without having to worry about emissions. When will the full splendor of this power plant be revealed? Porsche allegedly opposes the EV revolution. And if so, what is the top secret technology that may completely transform the car sector? In only 10 exhilarating minutes, we'll tell you everything about Porsche's significant advancement. Put your seatbelts on. Porsche's Chief Finance Officer, Lutz Mitschke, said earlier this month that the business is having significant difficulties obtaining necessary components for EVs. Such delays often result in a significant decline in revenue for manufacturers, since everyone is strongly dependent on Chinese battery technology. The Chinese continue to invest in their own businesses, such as BYD, but others cannot say the same. Oliver Bloom, the CEO of Porsche, said that a supply chain problem always arises. According to their sales report for Q4 2022, their EVs also saw a significant drop in sales. Then, though, something unexpected occurred. The major finding: Porsche has finally succeeded in creating an internal combustion engine that runs on hydrogen and performs better than It all began in 2022.
Our goal is to sell more than 50% electrified cars by 2025 and more than 80% by 2030.
When the forward-thinking car giant set the audacious goal of creating a hydrogen engine that meets the same performance standards as a gasoline engine. Now, you may be wondering why Porsche is making such a significant investment in a technology that looks to be nearing extinction. You won't believe the sinister explanation behind this, but we'll get to that in a moment. With an astounding 590 horsepower output and a peak speed of 162 miles per hour, the engine has the same power as a V8. The main reason why hydrogen was not extensively employed up to this point was because the energy needed to manufacture it was not pure. Additionally, it releases harmful nitrogen oxides. Toyota and Honda have tried and failed, but Porsche is not your typical automaker. To reduce emissions, they will use the Euro-based catalytic reduction used in diesel engines. In addition, the engine will run on hydrogen created by solar and wind energy, rather than fossil fuels for cleaner energy. Additionally, this engine has a freshly created turbocharging system. It can reach a top speed of 261 km/h. But how is that even possible? We understand that it is quick, but is it also clean? How did Porsche manage to do this? In addition, there are reports that Porsche is trying a novel fuel with the 911. The business has already made a $75 million investment in it. The information will be revealed in the next 2 minutes, so keep watching. Porsche's most recent investment seems to have removed the gas cap from Pandora. Our German friends have begun making synthetic fuels at a brand new Chilean facility. You question why, Chile? Because the e-fuel we're discussing is produced using wind power from Apple and is composed of water and carbon dioxide. All of these are plentiful in Chile throughout the year. They have made a $75 million investment in a business named Highly Innovative Fuels. The facility will initially produce around 35,000 gallons of e-fuel annually during the experimental phase. The people at Porsche have ambitious ambitions to increase e-fuel production to 55 million liters annually by the middle of this decade and 140 million by the end of it, according to Porsche's Director of Development and Research, Michael Steiner. This fuel will provide owners of current vehicles a practically carbon-neutral substitute. Simply said, it allows us to continue using both old and modern combustion engines while maintaining a much cleaner conscience. The ultimate objective is to market this gasoline so that it may be utilized in even the oldest automobiles without worrying about causing pollution. For this, they will create a facility known as a Porsche Experience Center. I will elaborate on it in a moment. Any vehicle that burns gasoline may use this fuel, although they could later create fuels for a particular engine. We anticipate significant efficiency advantages from this. This is how it goes. To power some sophisticated machinery that separates water into hydrogen, they installed a large wind turbine known as a Siemens Gamesa, similar to those you see on wind farms. The problem is that it isn't inexpensive, at least not yet. Porsche is paying a staggering $44.73 per gallon for the initial batch, or €10 per liter, but they want to reduce that to $7.57 by 2026. Currently, a significant amount of energy is wasted during the production of this e-fuel. Therefore, it is not the most effective method of driving a vehicle.
And so, beside of this, we are a technology-driven company by enabler technologies like charging and synthetic fuels.
Particularly when compared to hydrogen or batteries. Although Porsche has already invested more than $100 million on it, they are still counting on it. Their objective is to produce this e-fuel in Chile and export it across the globe for refining. They are rather upbeat and anticipate a future decrease in manufacturing costs. They also believe it is a smart way to have gasoline that is carbon neutral. Regulatory obstacles are in the way. You see, e-fuels still count as emissions in Europe, according to the ruling class, although this material is formed from carbon that we have previously released into the atmosphere. You read it correctly. The power brokers insist on returning it to the emissions column. It is comparable to checking out a book from the library on time and yet receiving a fee. Oh, right. The million-dollar issue is now, are e-fuels really superior than EVs? Folks, here is the tea. Today's EVs are more affordable and intelligent. They use around 95% of the energy they consume compared to regular automobiles, which spend roughly 2/3 of their gasoline to keep their engines cool. However, it cannot be denied that EVs lack a soul. Customers are asking businesses not to transition to EVs. Porsche intended to completely electrify vehicles like the Macan. Customer reviews seem to be forcing Porsche to reconsider its choice. The business said that they had consumer resistance. They understand that the market for Macan chargers isn't large enough to sustain it. According to reports, Porsche CEO Gruner and other executives have recognized the lack of public charging infrastructures and are actively planning effective solutions to close this gap. Porsche's future outlook. Porsche intends to continue developing EVs in public, but they'll start putting its groundbreaking engine in automobiles as early as 2025. Keep reading to learn about the engine's standout characteristics, which we discussed in the previous part. You'll be amazed.
We have our core competencies in battery cells and battery systems. and then the software ecosystem we are building, and beside of this, a very clear, sustainable story.
Despite the fact that the Taycan Eve is among the finest in its class, insider sources have indicated that the carmaker is not entirely satisfied with its electric cars. If you want to be genuinely startled by what is going to happen with EVs, check it out.